Oh, if I had the Monday off, would then make you love me more?
What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is really exciting for me because I've been meaning to do it for a while and I just kind of had other videos in the works, but now I'm ready to talk about this and I'm super excited. I'm very passionate about this topic and my channel for a while now has kind of been centered around the topic of self-love and self-care. And so basically I'm going to be sharing 10 habits that completely changed my life, transformed my life, made me so much happier, healthier, and just transformed my relationship with myself, and then because of that my relationships with others. I personally believe that self-love is a shortcut to being mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, free, and like enlightened, all of those fancy words that people use to describe someone who is healthy and happy and at peace. And self-love has been the #1 thing that has got me out of my struggles. Obviously there's a lot of things that helped out on my journey, but self-love and self-care has been the #1 thing. Giving myself that attention and that love and that care. I can't compare that to anything else that I've done in my recovery to get to where I am now. And if you guys are not familiar with my story, I was in a really bad place. I was suicidal, I was in a mental hospital, I was seeing hallucinations, I had like at least 5 panic attacks every day. I was like not me. I was not happy at all. I felt like I wasn't even meant to be here, and that's like totally the opposite of how I feel now. And it's only been like, I don't know, 5 years since I started my recovery, and I know that seems like a long time to a lot of people because a lot of us are very impatient when it comes to feeling better and feeling happy, but I have completely transformed my life and the way I look at myself and the way that I treat myself in these past 5 years. And that's like the #1 tip, to just be patient and loving, and don't put yourself down if you're not where you're meant to be at or where you want to be at. It will happen. You just need to be persistent and loving and caring and patient. And the last thing that I want to say before I share all my habits is that I'm just going to be scratching the surface of all of these topics because they're pretty big, important topics to me. So if there's any topic that I mention in particular that you'd like me to make a whole video about, let me know. I'm open to doing that. I would love to do that because I'm very passionate about all of these. So let's get into the 10 habits that changed my life and changed me and made me very happy and healthy. First habit is a recent one, and it's kind of silly and light, but it has been really important to me, and that's like natural skincare every single morning. And again, I know that sounds silly. I feel like when you physically take care of yourself, like skincare, like working out, eating healthy, all those things, you take care of your emotions and mental health as well. At the end of the day, they're all one. They're all the same thing, which is your overall health and well-being. So not only is natural skincare really good for your skin and your body, but it's also just like such a relaxing and loving task for me. Again, it's a really small, silly thing, but that's the beauty of self-care and self-love. A lot of the things that you can do are really small things that just mean something to you and just make you feel better. So skincare, natural skincare is one of those for me. It just makes me feel beautiful and taken care of, and just feels nice. I don't know. The second thing that I've mentioned about 1 billion times, and I will continue to, is writing. And I made a whole video about writing that's called 35 things to write about, so I'll link it below if you want to get into writing and you don't know how to start or how to stick to it. I'll have that below. But to me, I love to write about how I'm feeling mostly and what I'm thinking about, what struggles I'm going through, what I want to let go of, what what I'm grateful for, like just everything to do with how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Especially if it's negative, it just helps me to put everything out on paper, and while I'm writing, I'm actually really feeling it and giving myself that attention that those feelings need. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like writing is such an important and different artistic expression, because it's your language, it's how you speak and express yourself every single day, and putting it out on paper and just figuring things out on your own is so important, at least to me. It just helps me to see everything that I'm feeling and thinking out on a piece of paper. It just makes me feel like everything I'm feeling and thinking is manageable, and there are answers of what I can do to make me feel better and to go through whatever I'm going through. I owe so much to writing. Like, I've figured so many things out that I would probably never figure out if it wasn't for writing, and I really like writing. The next thing, I'm not really where I want to be yet, but it's something that I recently started working on, like very intentionally, and that is changing my relationship with social media and using it in a way that is healthy and good for me, because I realized that I use social media to get away from myself and how I'm feeling, especially if I'm feeling like a negative way. I usually just turn on YouTube, watch a billion videos so I don't have to deal with myself and how I feel, so I can kind of escape that. And it doesn't help anything, because those feelings when I'm done watching are still there, and they're usually worse because I'm ignoring myself, and that's the opposite of what self-love and self-care is about. So just changing my relationship with social media, and also just really cutting down on who I follow. And I always try to follow people that inspire me and motivate me to continue with my journey and my dreams, my feelings and thoughts, and who I am, and don't make me feel like I need to change myself, or I need to buy something to be better, or that I even have to be better. I don't follow people that make me feel insecure or jealous or feel like I'm not enough or I'm not good enough. The fourth habit I've kind of touched on throughout all of these, but it's to feel my feelings when they come, especially when it's a trigger. Like, you know, when someone says something and you're just like, oh, that really freaking hurts. And it can be like a small, insignificant thing that just really hurt you, and you're like, why the heck did that just hurt me so much? Why am I so upset about this? That's the perfect time to sit with yourself, or even if it's a big thing, obviously, but it's such an important thing to sit with yourself while you're going through whatever you're going through, and to allow yourself to feel it. If you allow yourself to feel it, it's never gonna get worse. I feel like people have this idea that, oh, if I allow myself to feel sad, it will just get bigger and bigger and I'll get consumed by it. But that's not what happens in my experience, and everyone that I've spoken to about this. When you truly focus on how you feel and allow yourself to really feel it deep down, what happens usually to me is it gets bigger for a little bit so I can fully experience it, and then it like calms down, and then I get this realization of whatever I had to learn, and I get this new motivation and inspiration. My end goal is just to be with myself and listen, because all of your emotions have something to tell you, and if something triggered you, there's a reason why it triggered you, and if you're feeling a certain way, there's a reason why you're feeling that way. And the most self-loving and self-caring thing that you can do is to allow yourself to feel it. We live in a society that tells us that feelings are not good and you shouldn't feel any type of negative way ever. It's a sign that you're not, I don't know, good enough, that you're not living a perfect life. But like, feelings are human. Like, we come into this world only being able to feel. Doesn't that like tell you something? That's the most natural thing that we are able to do, and it's the most beautiful and like sacred thing that we're able to do. And I think everyone should honor that, because your feelings help you figure out where you are and who you are. Like before, when I was super out of tune with my feelings, I had no idea who I was or what I wanted. I was so confused and I was so lost. And the moment that I started listening to my emotions and honoring them and accepting them, that's when I started figuring out who I am and what I truly want deep down. And so just be with yourself when something negative or any type of strong feeling or just mild feeling arises that's just like eating at you a little bit or a lot. Listen to it and be present with it, and you'll learn so much through that. And it's just, I don't know, feelings to me are just like this sacred thing in my mind that I'm just like, wow, how freaking beautiful, honestly. Number 5 is eating non-processed, healthy, nourishing foods and making them as well. Like, I love cooking. I feel like it's kind of like a meditation for me, because I'm like totally present doing one thing and my mind kind of wanders, and I don't know, it's also a very creative thing for me. Just the whole process, like preparing food and then having that food in front of you, being grateful that you even have it. There's so many people in this world that don't get that don't get the choice to eat what they want or to even eat. You're so privileged if you get the chance to choose what you want to eat or just eat in general, and just like being grateful for it before you eat the food. And then eating healthy, just it makes you feel so much better. It makes you feel light and like, I don't know, glowing and healthy. I don't know how to explain it. It's just eating good, nourishing foods that you know are good for your body is just such a great self-loving, self-caring feeling for me. I will link my recent What I Eat in a Day video below if you want to check out and get some ideas of what you can eat. But there's also so many recipes online and YouTube videos. So yeah, that's like a super self-caring, self-loving thing for me.
Let them make you love me.